What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Watching Sundays. This episode, we're going to be reviewing, spoiler-free, Captain Marvel. Let's get into it. What's up with the shades, Flip? You an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Looks like we've got kittens.
So, right off the bat...
Captain Marvel! We've got Marvel Cinematic Universe movie before...
Phase 4 beginning.
Before
right now.
we get to Endgame.
Right. So, right off the bat, I'm going to say it was a good movie, okay?
Right off the bat, you're going to say it's a good movie.
It's a good movie.
I'm just going to repeat everything you say from here on out.
It's not a bad movie. It's not one of
That's better.
It's not one of the best movies of Marvel's portfolio, but it's definitely not the worst. I'd say probably one of the worst movies is Iron Man 3, followed by Thor: The Dark World.
I enjoyed Iron Man 3. I would put Iron Man 3 on above this. I would put Captain Marvel somewhere in the bottom 5 or 4. It just wasn't the big epic event that I was expecting to get me hyped up for Endgame. My biggest takeaway was Carol Danvers herself, or should I say Brie Larson. Her character felt a little stale, it felt a little monotone. Maybe that was the way it's supposed to feel. Maybe that's because she, like you were telling me after we watched this movie, that or maybe because she doesn't really know who she is and all that stuff. But I did not have an emotional attachment to her character pretty much throughout the entire film.
Now let me ask you, is that a mission accomplished on the director's part? Because we don't have an emotional connection to Carol Danvers, and she doesn't have an emotional connection to her character because she doesn't know who she is.
Well, that would be a big failure, because one big thing in movies or films or in entertainment, that when you're trying to tell a story, you need to create that emotional connection with your characters across the film. I'm being
ambivalent here.
Yeah, I just didn't.
If she has an identity crisis and she's she's not showing that emotion that makes us have a connection, would it be a directorial success to say, oh, we too didn't really feel much for her until she had that history and the memories of her past come back to her?
Maybe for you it felt like a success, but for me it's a complete failure, because you're supposed to be able to draw out some relatability from having an identity crisis, because all of us have had identity crisis, especially in high school, in our teen years, all that stuff. Like, you're supposed to be able to pull that from your audience. It didn't work.
That's a huge assumption. I'd say none of us can relate to her situation. We've never been flight testers or have lost all of our memories
That's a little too literal. That's a little bit too literal. What I'm saying is that there needs to be an emotional relatability when you're putting forward a character like Captain Marvel. You can relate to Iron Man and Tony Stark's like egomaniac. You can relate to Captain America's like passion for justice and doing what's right. I don't know what I can relate with Carol Danvers.
I'm just gonna say that sounds like a you problem.
Yeah, maybe it's a me problem.
I'm
totally fine with that. It's a me problem.
The only relatability that I could see that you could possibly be missing is someone who's searching for themselves.
That is something that everybody goes through.
Exactly, and if you can't relate to it and you're not relating to it...
I could not relate to it because the delivery was stale.
I don't know. I think
we're gonna disagree on this.
Yeah, I think.
But that's just the way I felt about the movie.
My takeaway, obviously, I got super attached to her character as soon as she started getting emotional about her memories with Maria Rambeau. I think in the beginning, right, we're tossed into this world with her. She wakes up. She's already a Kree soldier for the Star Force. She's got all of these responsibilities. She's already on a team, and she's going through this whole like nightmare thing that keeps happening to her. She has all of these visions of a past life, and without spoiling too much, that alone is enough to give me a sense that she's at least dealing with dealing with her past, not being able to remember it. And when she has those interactions with those around her and her own team, that delivery is stale because we don't know those characters too. So moving on to the second and final act of the movie, it took a huge upturn for me. I know there's a lot of, there's a point of contention between me and a Flip here on in terms of character building, but as soon as she got her memories back, as soon as she knew the truth of the circumstances of her creation and the circumstances of her discovery by the Kree, she got really emotional. I think I found that connection with her, and then we got to the special effects. Now, obviously, spoiler-free review. The hand-to-hand combat, I managed my own expectations on that front. Captain Marvel is all about her power set. She's not a Captain America. She's not a Black Panther. She's not anyone that comes to mind when I think martial arts, Iron Fist, awesome hand-to-hand, right? And they got it right with their displays of her power set in this movie. It looked spectacular. It looked like she, at the very least, is the most powerful Avenger going into
She's
Endgame.
Supposed to be the most powerful Avenger, right?
Yes.
Well, yeah, but I just didn't like the idea or showcasing any kind of hand-to-hand combat if you're not going to showcase it. She's supposed to be this warrior. In the beginning, she's training with Jude Law, and she's supposed to control her emotions. She's supposed to be a badass combatant before even using and utilizing her power. And if you're gonna showcase something like that, at least show the moves if you're going to show it off.
They did show some moves. I mean, I don't think
the jump cuts to different angles of the fight scenes was like.
I don't think
it's a part of action movies that irritate me.
I don't think it was a huge showcase. I don't think they were trying to showcase that. So that's another huge point of contention between us. I mean, I think to have a warrior race, you're gonna have some combat skills, right? You go to the military, you learn Krav Maga or whatever. You'll have some fighting experience. And when she was fighting with her hands, obviously that was a product of circumstance. When her true what she's known for, going binary and going and having these powers, that's really where it shines, going Super Saiyan.
I would agree with you. When she becomes Super Saiyan in the movie, it's actually really, really breathtaking. The special effects just takes over. Some sequences in the latter half of this movie was just amazing, like what you would expect from a Marvel movie. So that is why, in all of its totality, I think it was a pretty good movie.
Yeah, I mean,
I was kind of like hanging in the balance, was like, is this movie good enough? Is this movie even good? But I think it's a good movie. It's not awesome to the top tier of all of Marvel's movies, but I would say it's kind of like a little bit on the bottom half of it.
Yeah, let's look at the gestalt of the Marvel universe. Right? Obviously, it doesn't rank high up there in the best Marvel movies, but it's still a good movie.
Still a good movie.
And, Marvel can't have, or it's impossible to have 100% record.
Absolutely.
So, I would be surprised if it was a really bad movie. It's not a bad movie. It's not the best movie either, but it was enjoyable, right?
Yeah, it was really, really enjoyable. You have to kind of open yourself up to all of the surprises and all of the delights that the movie has to offer, and it might surprise you. So it really depends on who you are, what you're looking for. It's got badass sequences, fight sequences. The special effects are amazing, and Element here had a liking to her character. I felt disconnected, but hey, you go see it for yourself and let us know what you think.
It was like a curve, really.
It was just kind of like this, and maybe a little blip for me.
Anyways, guys, let us know what you think in the comment section below. Leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more from us. Stay tuned for our Orville review as well.
Ooh, can't wait.
And we'll see you guys in the next video.